I'm Bart Connor. Gymnastics is one of the most exciting Olympic sports and is perhaps the best overall conditioning sport for children of all ages. Now, just like any activity or sport, there are risks associated with gymnastics simply because there is motion, height, speed, and power involved with the gymnastic skill or performance. Additional risks are created by the training or practice environment and by improper conduct of the activity. The next few minutes are very important to all of you who are involved with gymnastics. The purpose of this tape is to raise your level of safety awareness in gymnastics and to alert you to the safety concerns necessary to understand the risks that are involved with gymnastics. Even under the very best levels of supervision and with the very best coaching and equipment, accidents can still happen. That is the nature of all sports. Our goal is to help you eliminate those accidents which can be prevented. We'll also help you to understand what you need to do to make gymnastics as safe as possible. Gymnastics activity cannot be separated from gymnastics safety. They must go hand in hand. Everyone shares in the responsibility for safety, not only the coach, but you too. This concern and commitment to safety will help you reduce accidents. Never compromise safety practices for the pursuit of victory or for the accomplishment of a skill. This is an attitude and practice that must be incorporated in every gym in every possible situation. Please listen to some of the best coaches and athletes in our sport. They're going to help you make sure that your gymnastic experience is an exciting one and a safe one.
Because there is motion and height involved in gymnastics, accidents can happen. Most of the accidents in gymnastics are minor ones. Torn hands, blisters, sprained ankles, or pulled muscles. Sometimes, because of a bad landing, there could be knee injuries or even broken bones. It is also possible that by landing wrong or falling, a serious or even crippling injury could occur. It is possible that you could be paralyzed from a gymnastics injury and end up in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. It is even possible that you could die.
I was a national champion in gymnastics. I went on to collegiate competition where I competed on a national championship team. I thoroughly enjoyed gymnastics and I competed for many years. I had some minor injuries such as blisters and sprained ankles, but then one day I made a mistake. I landed on my head on the mat. I broke my neck and I became a quadriplegic. Now I'm in a wheelchair. I'm paralyzed from the chest down. I can't move my legs. I have little use of my arms. I will never walk again. I knew I could be injured doing gymnastics. I even knew I could be paralyzed for the rest of my life, but I never thought it would happen to me.
No one ever thinks something like this will happen to them, but it can. We need everyone involved in gymnastic safety. Coaches, judges, and especially athletes.
Here are 3 Olympic champions who are among the best athletes in the world. These longtime gymnasts are going to share their experience to help you get the most out of your gymnastics activity and in the safest possible way. Just listen and watch.
The 1984 Olympics were exciting for all of us. Gymnastics has been an important part of my life for many years. My Olympic teammates Peter Vidmar, Kathy Johnson, and I are going to show you some basic gymnastics safety guidelines.
Even to this day, we all still do many of the same things that we did when we started gymnastics. We still warm up, practice fundamentals, and most importantly, practice the necessary safety precautions that all athletes must follow.
No matter how good a gymnast you are, you cannot take gymnastics safety for granted. Gymnastics safety must be practiced on every single skill and every routine. If you forget it for a minute, an accident that does not need to happen can happen. Gymnastics safety must be an integral part of the total gymnastics environment. Remember, everyone has a responsibility to gymnastics safety, especially the gymnast. Here are some rules that outline the responsibilities you have as a gymnast.
Appreciate the risk. It is necessary to be familiar with each skill so that you can understand its difficulty level. If you know what each skill involves, you can better judge your ability to perform it safely. Do not attempt to perform any skill before your coach or instructor feels you are ready.
Be supervised. Whenever you're working out in the gym, there must be someone who is responsible to oversee your workout. That person can supply feedback and spot errors in technique. therefore eliminating situations which could lead to injury.
Dress appropriately. Although workout clothes should be comfortable and allow freedom of movement, extremely loose clothing can become tangled on the bars or with the hands of a spotter. Jewelry should never be worn. It can catch on the equipment or on clothing and could result in an injury.
Never be careless. You must always pay attention. Try for constant concentration and never quit in the middle of a trick. Always keep your eyes open and watch what you're doing. Remember, landing mats and spotters are not fail-safe. Do not depend on them to always protect you, regardless of how safe you are.
Be prepared to participate. You need to be physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared whenever you participate in a gymnastics activity. If you are out of physical shape, have an emotional problem, or your mental attitude is low, your chances of injury in the gym increase. A thorough warm-up should include preparing a proper mental attitude, as well as stretching and warming up muscles.
Communicate clearly. Be certain that you understand what your coach or instructor tells you. If you do not understand, ask them to explain again. It is also important when working with a spotter that he or she understands what skill you are going to throw. Be certain that you are both using the same terms or slang for that skill or series of skills.
Master basic skills first. Advanced skills are built upon basic skills. If you master a strong foundation, you can build skills one upon the other successfully. When attempting more difficult skills, you can fall back on the basics to understand problems that you may have encountered.
Follow proper skill progressions. Strong skill development follows a particular order. A step left out can result in a weak link and possibly a trouble spot. Proper skill progressions will train the mind and the body to know each skill. The development of this body awareness is essential to safety and success in gymnastics.
Know the skill. It is important to know how a skill will feel as well as how it should look. If you know what is coming, you can be prepared to react. The body awareness developed through skill progressions can get you out of a trouble spot. If you don't understand a skill, ask your coach.
Always follow through. The follow-through concept involves more mental power than physical power. You must keep in mind that a skill is not completed until you have finished the landing or continued into the next skill. The follow-through of one skill is the setup for the next. An effective follow-through results in a smooth transition from one skill to another and in sticking a landing.
Know your limitations. Your performance is limited by your experience, your level of progression, and your physical and mental state. You need to know what your limitations are in relation to your ability to perform skills. You also need to be aware that your mental and physical limitations change if you're tired, fearful, upset, or ill. Keep in tune with yourself and be alert to those elements that put limitations on your ability to perform gymnastic skills safely.
Use proper landing technique. Most injuries occur on landings, and knees and ankles take the bulk of the strain. When landing, the feet should be slightly apart with a slight turnout. The knees should bend slightly on impact to absorb the shock. Stand up and close your feet. Look for a focal point to aid in balance. If you are falling out of a landing, try to roll out of it rather than reach for the floor with your arms. Also, remember to use the proper mats.
Double-check equipment. Before you work out on any piece of equipment, check to see that all T-handles or spin locks and all support cables are secure and that the proper mats are in the correct position. Also, check to see that all mats have been pushed together so that there are no gaps or spaces between them. Be sure that the equipment is set to fit your body. Remember that the gymnast who went before you may have changed the setting.
Listen to your coach. Your coach is there to help you learn safely. You must respect your coach and listen to what he or she says, and try to the best of your ability to follow his or her instructions. It is everyone's responsibility to interact with one another to keep our sports safe.
The most important rule is to always listen to your coach. Safety is always the coach's most important concern.
Gymnastics safety is everyone's responsibility, and it must be incorporated in every teaching situation. There is no aspect of any program that can be overlooked. You must make it your day-to-day, minute-to-minute concern and obligation. Constant vigilance is essential. There are ways that each coach can help provide a safer environment in your gym. For example, a well-planned and organized program, a competent and knowledgeable teaching and coaching staff, proper instruction including approved warm-up programs, physical readiness evaluations, use of standard safety techniques, and use of logical and systematic skill progressions. Proper supervision and the creation of a safe working environment, which includes equipment, safety devices, mats, and other needed materials.
When you first look at a gymnastics club or gym, it may appear to be nothing more than gymnastics equipment and mats. But there are a lot of things that go into making a good, safe workout facility, and you should be aware of these. First, there should be a good floor plan and design to allow for easy flow of traffic and protection to those athletes training in each event area. Landing areas should always be located away from traffic.
If there are safety belts or spotting belts, they should be in good working order and properly secured. They should also be placed in an area that will not interfere with the other gymnasts or coaches working in the gym. Remember, spotting belts should only be operated by a trained person. Proper knowledge is essential to provide the safest working conditions.
Gymnastics apparatus is highly sophisticated equipment and should be purchased only from reputable manufacturers. Always inspect the equipment before using it. If you have any problems with the equipment, tell your coach.
If there's one thing you cannot have enough of in a gym, it's mats. Remember, mats cannot prevent injuries. They are not fail-safe. However, proper use of mats can greatly enhance the safety of the athlete in a supervised workout situation. There are different kinds of mats. Basic mats are used under equipment. These are usually 1 or 2 inches thick. They are not to be used alone. They should always be used with landing mats or safety mats.
Landing mats are used in landing areas and provide an extra amount of protection. Landing mats are used primarily for controlled landings on both feet, not as a substitute for spotting or using the proper progressions. These mats range from 4 to 8 inches thick.
Safety mats may range in thickness from 8 inches to 36 inches. These mats have specific purposes. The bigger, thicker mats are used when learning new skills or when training dismounts. Remember, it's not just the mat that protects you, it's how you land.
Regardless of what mat you land on, you should never land on your head or neck. Landing on your head or neck could cause a serious crippling injury, including paralysis or even death.
Mats are important in the gymnastics environment. They should never be left idle. Even the best mats or the thickest mats cannot prevent all injuries. There are risks associated with the sport as with any athletic activity. It is very important that mats are used properly and are set up correctly for each workout.
A gym can be a very safe place if it is treated properly and with great concern. Remember, gymnastics safety is incorporated in every aspect of teaching, coaching, and working out. You must never stop thinking about how important it is.
Gymnastics training is a very fundamental discipline. Among the very first movements we make, such as rolling over or sitting up, are simple forms of what can become gymnastic skills. Two of the most important things in learning gymnastics are progressions and repetitions.
Progressions help you advance in a logical and systematic way. You use the skills you've mastered and build on them to develop more advanced skills. Equally as important to learning skills well is to learn them safely. Remember, you should be able to safely and consistently perform each progression before you attempt the next skill. The timing, strength, and body mechanics developed during this series of backward roll progressions can be used to develop other skills. A backward roll in tuck position can easily be transferred from the floor to the beam. The body position of a tucked back somersault is the same as that of a backward roll in the tuck position. A back hip circle on the high bar shows similar body position as the backward roll in pike position. The body mechanics of a pullover on bars are similar to those of a backward roll to a 45-degree body extension. A back kip on the rings also uses similar body mechanics as the backward roll to a 45-degree body extension. A peach basket to handstand on the parallel bars relates to the mechanics and timing of a backward roll extension to handstand. The clear hip circle to handstand on bars also uses these same body mechanics. Working through progressions is the best way to safely build upon and develop more advanced gymnastic skills.
Performer readiness is also an important part in the athlete's ability to participate safely in sports. Even before you start with the most fundamental gymnastics or sports involvement, there are certain things that should be done. A physical exam should be taken regularly. Consult your family doctor before you participate. Your coach or instructor should evaluate your gymnastic ability and progress on a regular basis. Warm-up exercises are an important part of training. They prepare you for workouts and help in learning skills and in the development of physical ability. There are additional factors that contribute to an athlete's ability to learn and perform. One of them is spotting. Spotting is a very important safety procedure and tool.
Spotting is a very important part of teaching gymnastics. It also is a skill that takes a lot of practice to learn. Spotting has two basic purposes. First, to provide safety for the gymnast. And second, to help the gymnast to perform a skill. Let's see a few spotting.
Spotting is beneficial in teaching gymnastic skills and is used as an additional tool to provide safety while practicing those skills. There are certain guidelines that are necessary to be an effective spotter. Some of them are to have a working knowledge of the skill being attempted, to have knowledge of how to spot certain skills. There are many ways to spot any particular skill. If a spotter is not sure what to do, he or she should ask someone with proper knowledge. To recognize the potential problems or risks. Each skill has unique things that can add to the risk. For example, on bars, a poor grip may cause the gymnast to slip and fall from the apparatus. When vaulting, hitting the board improperly results in loss of height and rotation necessary to complete the movement. A spotter must be alert to potential problems and be prepared to respond to them. A gymnast must never attempt a new or difficult skill without a spotter. Gymnasts should be instructed to use a spotter or seek supervision whenever attempting a new or difficult skill.
Now big talk, again, provide the safety and helping the skill. Beautiful.
Just as a trained spotter is always prepared to assist you, you also must always be prepared. What you do from the time you get up until you go to sleep at night will affect your physical performance in gymnastics or any other sport. For example, your diet is important, not only to control your weight, but for proper nutrition essential to a growing athlete. You must also get a proper amount of rest. Being tired or fatigued at a workout can lower your performance capabilities and perhaps even cause an injury.
The ability to concentrate is another important part of sports. Problems with school or parents or friends can interfere with that concentration. Lack of concentration may affect performance and increase the chances of injury. If you have worries or problems, talk to your parents, teachers, school counselor, or coach. Obviously, drugs, cigarettes, and alcohol have absolutely no place in sports. If you involve yourself with any of these, stay away from the gym. If you have an injury, such as a sprain or a strain, proper care will help that injury to heal faster and allow you to return to gymnastics more quickly. Also, proper rehabilitation will help lessen the chance of the same injury reoccurring.
Accidents are more likely to happen if you do not follow the rules. But when you perform gymnastics following the rules, it is a very exciting and a very safe activity.
Remember, you as a gymnast have primary responsibility for your own safety. You cannot always rely on others, so be prepared to take care of yourself. Safety is a serious business. Gymnastics is a great sport, but it's no fun when you're injured.
It's all of our responsibilities to make sure gymnastics is safe, and our gyms are a good place to learn. Follow these simple rules.
Warm up properly. Complete all necessary progressions. Be mentally prepared to attempt the skill. Give 100% in every effort. Communicate directly with your spotter and coach. double-check mats and other equipment, and never attempt skills that are too difficult.
We all need to make a pledge to gymnastics safety. Sports are meant to provide a meaningful and exciting experience for everyone. They make you feel good about yourself.
You can still have a good time, or even be a champion, and do it safely.
Thanks for helping us make our sport safer. We all hope that you enjoy your gymnastics experiences as much as we do ours. Good luck.